Alright, hello everyone, Travis here, doing a little Yoshidora VOD review. So I'm trying to do a challenge to myself, because I love picking up characters, I love challenging myself to learn new things. I'm trying to pick up all the characters of the strong players in my sub-region. Yoshi is the obvious number one, for those who know my sub-region. Um, and I want to learn those characters to the best of my ability, like actually like grind them and get as good with them as possible, maybe even get them kind of close-ish in skill to like my main. Um Partially so that I can do well against them, maintain consistency against them. If I know their characters, I can fight them better because I know what to fight against more. I think picking up characters is a great way to get better at fighting them potentially. But reason number two is so I can also help them. If they want advice from me at any point, I might have more informed advice because I studied their character. And what better Yoshi to learn from than Yoshidora? I picked this set. At least game one, Yoshidora does well this set. I don't know how the entire set goes. But he does well game one at least. His most recent set was against a Rob, and he did surprisingly bad against a Rob. It seems like I've seen Yoshidora sometimes lose to players I'm a little surprised about. But I don't know all the details on that. The other sets kind of were against like all the sets in the middle. Even if Yoshidora does well, they're all against weird characters. Like they're all like Kazuya, Luigi, Piranha Plant, DDD. Yoshidora's on stream has been going through the ringer of like weird characters, and then I if I'm learning to optimize a character, I don't really want to see. I want the match to mostly just be more fundamental. I don't want to see how to deal with like weird DDD shenanigans with Yoshi. That's not really applicable to me right now. But let's see how he does against Falco. Starts with a full hop, but then retreats back to the platform. I already reviewed the first few seconds of this match. Um, it makes I know Yoshi sometimes likes to jump from the platform at game start. I know Choi Croc does that. Um, Maybe just seeing how the opponent responds right away. I think I think I've been noticing more and more and more lately, through different sources, that you really just want to start the match against opponents you haven't already played a bunch of times with, like information gathering tools, whether it's a positional feints, walling hitboxes, approach tools, whatever it may be, shields, movement. It's basically just gathering data, and then you can play off that data and build off of it throughout the set. You have to be pretty open to do that, but gathering data is the first option. And when I start taking the game seriously again, I'm taking a break right now. That's probably gonna be one of my primary focuses, getting back into it. So maybe Yoshidora is going to apply that. Um, and he jumps over this laser. I don't know. He probably didn't jump over the laser intently. It just happened to line up that way. But he uses a double jump. Um, I think he was. So I think this might be an information gathering tool, because if you jump at someone, you gather information on how they might respond. This information was a little scuffed because a preemptive laser came out. I will not lie. But hypothetically, in Yoshidora's point of view, if you just jump at someone and then double jump away, Yoshi's double jump armor is going to make it where there's almost no counterplay to it, unless he gets like command grabbed or something. Um, at least with on the way up. So you gather most of Yoshi's approaches, like 80% of Yoshi's approaches, has to do with him jumping at the opponent. So getting information started with how your opponent responds to a simple jump in as Yoshi is extremely important. So he was able to, in just a simple jump in, double jump away, um, is a way of contesting that. But he doesn't have to worry about landing. He lands to the platform, and M0tsunabE, I don't know how to pronounce the name by the way, so I'm sorry if I'm doing it wrong. Basically guesses wrong in the 50-50, guesses that he's going to land to center stage, but actually he goes onto the platform. Kind of a 50-50 right there. But attacking the center is always nice, as even if he gets wrong, you still have slight positional advantage. Although Yoshi doesn't seem to mind being on platforms in comparison to other characters I've noticed. He tries to potentially punish the forward air with a back air off platform, but maybe misjudges the distance, or maybe he's just trying to wall. Neutral reset again. Yoshidora's going to do an egg throw. So, um, I know Yoshi's capable of doing a delayed egg throw into the opponent, kind of in a similar vein to a Pikachu approaching with a T-Jolt and kind of making the opponent play RPS with that. And Yoshi can cover the egg pretty well. Like, see how he's landing kind of after the egg? So if the opponent tries to avoid with the egg with something, Yoshi can come back down with something. I'm sure like different throw heights and throw distances and stuff might vary the timing on when Yoshi lands corresponding to the egg, and I haven't fully labbed or understood all of the little details on that yet. Choker Croc, if you're watching this, I feel like you don't approach with this enough. I feel like you like surprisingly don't utilize that method enough. I don't know if there's a reason why or not. But I watched it in the Yoshi guides I was watching. Sorry, I took a swig of water. I think because he lands a little bit after the egg and Falco, I'm sorry, I don't like pronouncing that name or pronouncing the tag. Falco kind of avoids the egg, so there's not really anything Yoshi can true cover. So he's just gonna land, do a tomahawk roll. So a lot of people might try to attack Yoshi as he's landing or right after he lands. It's kind of like some people might try to hit him on the way down, some people might try to hit him kind of hitting what he does afterwards. So a roll behind is a sneaky little way to get a potential reversal. But Falco is patient and actually does a roll to center himself. Does a little jump as well. By the way, Tomahawk shielding and Tomahawk rolling is generally a deceptive option that works on a lot of higher level players. Does the egg approach again? Does it after a little empty hop? So able to seamlessly transfer between the different approaching methods. Sees that it kind of whiffs and double jumps away from Falco's pressure. Does this down air. That down air kind of prevents Falco from being able to, at least to my knowledge, I might, in fact, for my character, it's probably relevant to know whether that's something contestable or not. I would not be surprised if you could attack Yoshi and get a favorable trade here. I wouldn't know. He also uses deceptive air drift. He kind of makes it look like he's gonna land on the platform. Because right here, like he does a down air, and look how he's heading to the left. Right now, and with human reaction time, this is what M0tsunabE is thinking. Yoshi is going to land on the left side of the platform. That's what the visual cue is indicating. And it actually makes him go towards the left. But Yoshidora actually goes towards the right at the last second, which kind of mixes up M0tsunabE. Now he's going to do a walling back air. Note how he's 2 roll distances away. And then he does the short hop back air in a roll distance away. So if Falco tried to do any kind of dash in or anything, that it would have gotten stuffed out by back air. But he doesn't necessarily put himself in Falco's range to get directly punished. He chooses shield as is in another roll in. It seems like Yoshidora likes rolling quite a bit. Maybe rolling in is good against Falco. Maybe if it succeeds against him, I will steal that against Falco myself. Maybe Falco, because I know against Samus, roll in works a lot because a lot of her like heavy hitting moves, like basically all of them, like grab, forward air, charge shot, up B, they all lose to roll in. So rolling in is an effective strat against her. Maybe it's something similar with Falco. I bet roll in beats his forward air here, and maybe that's what Yoshidora is thinking. But it doesn't seem. I'm not sure if he has a frame to punish afterwards or not. But maybe it depends on when the roll is initiated. But he did choose defense after his walling option. Now he's doing a full hop in. Note how Yoshi's burst range extends with a full hop, and now he can approach with back air. He fades it back on the way back, Very strong spacing from Yoshidora. When I play Yoshi, I should definitely work on spacing my back air's back. I think the fact that he initiated the back air kind of high and did it out of a full hop actually gave him a bit of wiggle room to space the back air after hitting shield, and it crossed or mixed up M0tsunabE as he tried to shield grab out a shield, not knowing that the move is going to be too safe, and he actually gets true punished. Back air into F tilt. Know how he delays the back air, which allows him to land just fast enough to connect it into a forward tilt. So he's able to combo it, connects it into neutral air. With Yoshi, I theorize, I don't know that much about Yoshi yet, but I theorize that there's going to be kind of a crossroad at certain points. I think Yoshi's vertical combos deal the most damage, and Yoshi's a very strong juggler. But against some characters, it might be more beneficial to set up your win condition by putting them off stage so you can get a stock. Chogakroc, also, if you're listening to this, I think you usually pick the juggling path, but I see you occasionally do the recovery path. But I would not be surprised if Yoshi, because I think Yoshi's ability to take a stock extends with his horizontal advantage. In my opinion, Yoshi has strong edge guarding potential. So, Chogakroc, my humble advice to you is maybe you may not even watch this, it might be for nothing, but maybe you can sometimes prioritize horizontal advantage a little bit more. Because I see you, anyway, hit a neutral air. Obviously against Falco is relevant because Falco has a bad recovery. Gets the spiking forward air, tries to double it. It doesn't even matter. Falco dies anyway. See how that set a stock for him. Ooh, I kind of like that. No, that's kind of sneaky. And he's able to double jump back on. M0tsunabE trying to punish him. I will say against Yoshi, if you're fighting Yoshi, and I find myself guilty of trying to hit him on the way up too. So I can't be too mad. Honestly, it makes me feel better that top players do the same thing as well. Now, sometimes it's worth trying to hit Yoshi. Sometimes Yoshi is going to try doing like an up B back on a stage, and you have to guess he's going to do that, and you have to do an aerial. But if he does a double jump, it just beats that, unless he's at really hyper set and his double jump armor breaks by a little tap. But that's not until much later. But against Yoshi a lot of the time, you kind of just want to back up and cover his landing a lot of the time. But he gets a neutral air punish off of effectively armoring through his move. Connects it into F tilt, up air, up air. Ooh, unfortunate. So yeah, he connects into up tilt, connects into up air, up tilt. Or no, F tilt into up tilt. True combos into this rising up air. Lands on the platform. The platform probably extends. He might have even chosen vertical here instead of horizontal. I don't know if there's a way to get horizontal here, to be fair. It seems like if you get a forward tilt, the opponent, you can't put them behind you, you know? If he hit like another F tilt, like the F tilt in the other direction, he could have done a horizontal one and maybe gotten another stock. But this platform, it probably helps him to reset. For example, it might help with this frame trap. But if Falco double jumped away because Yoshi was reacting, Yoshi had to react to this air dodge to get this landing up air, which was really good. He even drifted with Falco too. That was impressive. But since he was reacting, that leaves a door open for some other options to get out of disadvantage, most notably double jumping. Yoshidora still would have been able to play advantage state because he can catch landings and so on. But you would have had some mix-ups and it would have been a guarantee. But this landing up air, he tries to do a delayed up air as well. It's kind of like doing a Roy up air and then you jump and do a delayed up air into a delayed up air on a platform and so on. I think Yoshidora is trying to do something similar. I don't know what Yoshi's combo game is exactly upon hitting this up air, but unfortunately he misses. He double jumps. He tries jabbing to cover himself, which makes sense. Jabbing actually. So I don't know if the reward on jab would have been that strong or not. Maybe there's some. I know you can cancel jab one into combos, but I don't know if you can do it this early yet. Maybe, but it still would have been something. But since he can just do the jab one, he can react, and if it hit confirms, awesome. But if it doesn't hit confirm, now he's able to react to the double jump. He tries doing the landing up air, but the landing nair dodge beats that. Landing nair dodges usually beat rising aerials, unless it's like at a certain distance. I wonder what he could have done instead to punish that. He gets up tilted for it. Up tilt into neutral air. Maybe I feel like Felgo could have done something stronger there, but I don't know. Side B to catch the landing. Tries to nair on the way down, but gets back aired. Tries to forward. I wonder if up tilt under the platform would have been better, but I don't know if he could have done that in time. He reads the jump on the platform, gets the up air, tries to combo into forward air. But I'm more so trying to watch Yoshi here. So we're back into a two-player game. So Yoshi's drifting. He's kind of like playing around with the drift a little bit. I see him like he kind of like I see him like right here. It's kind of subtle. But he kind of goes forward a little bit and then he keeps going backwards. I think he's trying to either be deceptive on if he's landing on the platform or not, or he's being deceptive on if he's gonna do like a C shape or not. And I think M0tsunabE was trying to respect the potential of the drift he had. And as such, he just kind of like, because he was respecting it, he didn't get a full coverage on Yoshi's landing. I'm sure doing like little tricky mix-ups like that is very important for Yoshi. Like, in making it like, putting a thin line on like, oh. And I think in my last VOD review, maybe it was Mia's Wolf, or maybe it was something else, but it seems like being deceptive on if you're going to land on the platform or not is yet another top level fundamental that I'm starting to see surface a lot, especially with very strong air drift characters. He does a drifts back forward air. He actually drifts back and drifts back in a little bit, so nice little wall. I think Yoshi can be very deceptive with his air drift, and that he can make it look like he's doing like a retreating option, but then he actually goes in with something, which might intercept you trying to overshoot or trying to take the space. It's like deceptive, like I guess I'll use this example, fake space. You're like faking giving space to your opponent almost, and then you hit them for trying to take it. But they're not always going to fall for it. He uses down tilt to cover himself this time. M0tsunabE shields. Tries to grab, but it's spaced, so it's not grabbable. M0tsunabE has a surprising, for being a top player, a surprising, like, retaliation out of shield habit. It seems to have surprisingly not... That down tilt was a little deceptive, though. I think the back air earlier actually was... Maybe it has something to do with reaction time, because he backed up at the last second with that back air way earlier in the match. I don't know. Let's see if it happens again, and I'll be a bit more confident when I'm saying. But I theorize M0tsunabE has bad shield habits. Good tech chase. Yeah, a lot of Yoshis go for this egg. He tries to get the forward air 2 frame. Goes for this nair. That nair would cover a lot. If he jumped or did a neutral get up, I believe the nair would have worked. The roll is pretty much the only thing that would have worked. He tries to punish. So I like that. He kind of is able to roughly cover, or at least pressure, every option at different timings with that rising neutral air. But he's able to shield just in time. And that move is punishable. Let me remind myself how punishable it is. Because I kind of forget. I need to memorize this. If I want to, like, learn Yoshi and get even better at fighting Yoshi, I need to, like, memorize all that frame data shit, I think. But, wait, where's that tilt? Oh. Oh, yeah, that is surprisingly unsafe. Honestly, that's more unsafe than I even think I thought it was. He's getting comboed. Uh-oh. Tries to get a forward air. Surprise forward air reversal. Doesn't work. He's able to get to center stage. Back air. Gets up tilted for it. Boom. Alright, what's he gonna do? Up air is to cancel the hit stun. That makes sense. I assume up air is the move that has the least amount of total frames. If you have a move, 36, looking at the other ones, yep, definitely. By like a decent bit, because like it's almost a 10 frame distance from whatever his second fastest one is. Most of Yoshi's aerials last a long time though. So that's a quick note right there. You want to cancel your hit stun with up air. He's stalling, he's stalling. He's able to double jump. Ooh, I like that low recovery mix-up. So he double jumps. He almost feints. It almost makes it look like he's going to go to ledge. But he stalls. And then he does an uppie at the last second, which seems strong at covering. Now, I'm not sure how that move interacts with everything. So that's something to be aware of. But I like doing that like little double jump kind of, and then just stalling as much as possible. Very creative. Neutral get up. Almost has frames to hit Falco, but not quite. Scary situation, double jumps. He probably could have fell for a little bit before double jumping. To maybe not put himself that high up in the air at least. But I don't know. He's drifting, he's drifting, he's drifting. Ooh. With Yoshi, it seems like, I mean, some characters might have moves that's good at covering everything. I think also if Yoshi's like in the corner, you can maybe like set it up so that you can, I don't know. Ooh, is that gonna be something big? Oh, he doesn't get something. But because of human reaction time, you can't do like pixel perfect options. I feel like there's maybe something you could have done better here though. Like I think you can react to that, I believe. But I think he wanted to kill, so he's going for up smash. It's a 50-50 on if Yoshi is going to drift to the left or right. Tries getting that combo. I'm sure that combos at certain distances, but just didn't get the, like, drifted back slightly too far for it. Tries to punish that with down tilt. A little too slow. That jump back forward air seems good at, like, kind of reversaling people. It's kind of similar to, like, a dash back dash attack or something. But gets hit for it. Ooh, the side B works again. Did I peek the double jump? Wait, I'm on YouTube. I can go frame by frame. It seems like he wasn't trying to double jump. It's kind of hard though to tell. Because there's like a bunch of smoke. And it could be like, I'm not sure. We actually might find out. Oh, never mind. That nair's gonna kill. We'll never know. It seems like he loves like going like kind of adjacent to ledge. I don't know if adjacent's the right word, but kind of like close-ish to ledge, but not quite, and then egging it like the last second. That does seem like a strong recovery mix-up though. Ooh, he tries going for something crazy there. Lots of fade back forward airs. Roll in. Jab shield pressure. Because he was on the back of his shield, that was fine. He tries to do a retaliation out of it, but too slow. Gets neutral aired for it. Oh! Ooh, that was good. So I think he reads that Falco's going to try to go for something here. So just, it seems like a reverse up tilt is so strong at like kind of walling your area. And he gets a kill off of it. Oh, goes for the double jump. Stalls with egg. Oh, whoa. Whoa. That's like he does like a wave bounce B reverse. So for those who don't know, like, doing like a beer verse is not hard. Like you just press B the other direction. But you did like the fucking. I don't even know if that's even that worth it. That's like a lot of APM for like for nothing. Because he faced towards the left when he did this egg. And he basically combined the regular turnaround beer reverse and the momentum turnaround to. People call it different things. Like some people say a wave bounce is just a regular beer reverse. In my opinion, it's beer reverse B turnaround. When you combine the two, you get a wave bounce, which is what Yoshidora did right here, where he basically he pressed. I believe doing it. He should have pressed right here if my memory's correct, and then he set his stick down to neutral, and that gave him the B turnaround. So he went from left to right, and then he did the momentum cancel B reverse, which made him go towards the left again. This basically is a if Yoshidora were to face the right and then just do a B reverse, it's basically the exact same thing as that. I guess he had to do that if he wanted to like if he wanted to face this way and do a egg lay in this direction, he could have always done like he could have just done the B reverse where he'd be sticking his tongue out to the right instead of the left. But and honestly, I feel like that wouldn't have really been that bad. Maybe he thought Falco was really gonna challenge him on the left here. But M0tsunabe's like not really been doing that, to be honest. He's actually like he keeps trying to cover him on the way down. He tries back airing to cover himself, but loses that to Falco forward air. Ooh, some scramble. Oh my god, they're both scrambling hard. They're both. It's actually like watching like mid-level gameplay up until that down air. Down air seems like a good like layer 2 to those scramble situations though. You kind of it simulates like a full hop whiff punish. I think the only issue is you have to do it a little preemptively. So it gives your opponent time to react. Like with Diddy Kong, I can like full hop, and I can like if my opponent's doing some crazy shit, I can just nair down on a reaction. With Yoshi, I feel like he has to like kind of do the down air a bit more in prediction. Gets this. Hits the neutral air. Actually like kind of evades the attack on the way down to then reversal with the nair, which is cool. Because he like it does those shield pokes, which is part of why that works. Connects into an up air, and he drifts back so that he doesn't get hit by this neutral air. He tries punishing. He gets the nair, but I don't think he means for it to send to the right. I think he wanted it to send to the left. Does a little drift back jump, which is a little deceptive, and he does a landing up air, which kind of contradicts the visual cue he was giving a second ago. But M0tsunabE still is able to read ahead and parry it. Up tilt, up air. Getting a little Falco combo. Tries doing that reflector, which seems strong at covering anything that's not fast falling down or double jumping as soon as possible. Yoshi's double jump tends to be very powerful. Does that landing down air. I still feel like you could beat that down air with a lot of things, but M0tsunabE almost seems scared to sometimes. But it gets down aired. Kind of like a lingering. It's kind of like Yoshi down air seems similar to like how Clouds would down air in Smash 4. To like cover themselves while landing. Ooh, he tries getting a grab reversal, which is fair, but starting to get Falco comboed. I don't know what the up air was hitting. He loves doing like little drifts, like to like micro space around people, like that like little jump back. Because that was basically the after image technique. I know that French Sephiroth player made a little episode on it. Because right here, Falco obviously is going to land down where Yoshi is right now. So he jumps out of the way. And then he's able to... And Falco's basically attacking the after image of Yoshi that he has in his mind right now. And then Yoshi is able to come back down with an up air. Does a delayed up air. And I think you have to delay that second up air to get the triple up air, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then he can kind of cover with another up air in case he does something. He double jumps. Now Yoshidora's going to be reacting to that and being like, okay, what can I do to punish? He goes to the right platform. I'm actually a little surprised. I guess the different positions have different pros and cons. But I feel like being on the right platform basically allows your opponent to land on the left side of the stage for free. If you try to cover more of the center and then condense Falco's landing down and they try to cover that, he might have had more success. But also being on the platform, I can see you having more flexibility, like hitting them in the air if they do happen to choose your side of the stage to land on. But I don't know. But he still has stage control, it's okay. He does a little full hop. I think he reacts and sees that he has an opening to forward air. M0tsunabE tries to parry and grab. Once again, we're seeing a surprising, like it seems like he struggles to be able to tell. I don't know if maybe it's a human reaction time thing, but I feel like when I've played Yoshi's and I'm able to tell when he drifts back. Or I'm able to have a good idea of what I can punish or not. I think maybe because he parried it, he had increased confidence that he'd be able to punish it. But it does seem to be surprisingly consistent that he's like doing the wrong out of shield punishes against Yoshi. He's actually using the after image again. He likes to drift out of the way of his prior position and then attack where he was, which will counter people trying to attack him. And I guess that's another example. It seems like a lot of neutrals built up of doing things like that. But now he's going to downer again. That downer seems extremely good at shield poking. I think you can react, though. This might be good for countering Yoshi. So I'm pretty sure Falco could like up air or something. Or he could maybe even roll in or something. You could probably react to that down air and play around it. But I think he's scared to or doesn't know to. So he keeps getting down air like shield poked at the end, which it seems deceptively good at shield poking, which is good to know, both for fighting against Yoshi and for when I play Yoshi. That is good to know that down air is that good at shield poking. Honestly, Chokercroc doesn't do downers that often like that. So I personally didn't really know it did that. But I feel like you could like as Diddy, I feel like I could up air Yoshi down air and it would maybe do a little trade. But obviously my hit would be more beneficial, so it'd be a favorable trade. Because my up air is a lot more valuable than a little multi-hit of Yoshi. But you have to like train yourself to be able to react to the down air and hit it. I might go in the lab and see. Maybe I can even up smash it. Or nair or something. But up throw banana would probably work. There's probably things I could do if I see a Yoshi just coming in with me with a fucking like down air like that. And I know if Diddy Kong can maybe up air it. Or whatever. I know Falco, of all characters, can. Falco could probably... I'm sure there might be some way you can tilt your shield too, though. It's just Yoshi matchup stuff. And stuff for me to lab. Ooh, Tomahawk Jab, that's very creative. But he loves going up to people and then doing that like little jump back and drift in with something. He does that a lot. Like a lot. But he gets hit for it. Ooh, M0tsunabE actually does it there, but Tomahawk Shield, very strong. Tomahawk Shielding is very strong at top level, because people will try to attack you on the way down. Gets a forward air off of it. Tries comboing it, doesn't quite hit it, gets egg laid. Egg lay is another way of kind of punishing the after image, sort of. He goes for this down air. I think I saw him go for a down air against another, top player as well. I do know you have 7 frames of invincibility after getting out of the egg. So that down air isn't true if you know about it. So if you're fighting a Yoshi and you know they're going to do the down air, you can do a frame 7 or faster move buffered out of egg to beat it every time. Or if you air dodge, you'll just avoid it. But I think a lot of people, even top players, don't know that. So... the down air, honestly, the down air kind of beats everything that isn't like an intelligent option out of egg. I'm a little surprised at how often it seems to work against top level players, though, to be honest. And that is Yoshidora's default out of egg lay. Because the down air strategy is strong, and I've hit it a few times in friendlies by now, but I feel like there's clear counterplay to it. Maybe Yoshi could do something to cover himself after the down air if it misses. or if he hits low enough to the ground, it'll hurt back shift over an aerial out of buffered out of egg. I don't know. Does egg lay again. M0tsunabE kind of like attacking in place, getting punished for it. Does a nair. Goes for the up tilt, but he's able to air dodge out this time. Gets back aired on shield. Good job. I'm proud of him for not attacking there. He actually turns around shield, which is a higher level option, kind of. Does a back air, roll distance away. Covers himself with up tilt because he thinks he's going to try to get punished, which happens. But because Psybe from Falco is delayed, it's still able to punish the up tilt. So timing could be everything. There's a lot of like tiny little mix-ups with like even just trying to cover yourself after whiffing something. Because sometimes even just waiting like a split second to attack, even if it's not like you literally waiting a second, like doing an option that takes a little bit longer might throw the opponent off with like their post something option. It even kill confirms, which I'm a little surprised. I'm actually surprised that connected like that, and I'm a little surprised it killed too. Maybe that DI wasn't perfect. I know Yoshi's heavy. I don't think Falco's back here is strong. I don't know if it's that strong to kill at center stage at not like one. He was a hyper set, but not like absurd. I don't know. Falco did have rage. Tried punishing the Psybe. Honestly, kind of crazy read out of respawn, but makes sense. That would have actually been a sick way to end the game if that hit. Hold on, getting a swig of water again. Tries to cover with down tilt, doesn't work. Does another back air. But gets reversaled by positioning. Dash shield. I feel like that actually makes a lot of sense. He always does a roll though. Sometimes, I think I've seen a few times so far that if he just held shield, he would have like gotten a punish. But he keeps going for this roll in. He seems to really like going for this roll in against Falco. Maybe it does cover, like maybe that it hard beats that Falco forward air if you time it right. So he has it in his like muscle memory to on reaction roll in against Falco forward air. I just feel like it's not actually giving him the punish timing. I feel like you have to do it. I feel like you'd have to do it preemptively, not reactively, to punish the Falco forward air. I would not be surprised if roll in, especially if your character has decent roll frame data, which Diddy does. So maybe I'll try it out against Falco. But I feel like you have to like kind of predict he's gonna do it instead of like and do it soon enough that you can actually get a punish. I think if you do it reactively, by the time his forward air is in the air, it's too late. I don't even think his forward air is safe on landing anyway, unless I'm wrong. So just holding shield sounds like it makes sense to me regardless. But I know maybe he's not reacting to the forward air, maybe he's reacting just to jump in, because roll in is a strong counter to jump in sometimes. So maybe it's just more about that than like Falco forward air in particular. I don't know yet. I am just theorizing. But the dash shield does seem like I feel like a lot of Yoshis like they do a lot of like air drift mix-ups and walling back airs or something else like that. I feel like the dash shield is like a good like middle ground. Like it kind of like a lot of the options someone would do to try to counterplay Yoshi doing like air drift mix-ups and walling options would lose to him just dash shielding in your face. So popping in like a dash shield as an option sounds really good with Yoshi in my opinion. So not a bad move. Sometimes you have to think about like different positions you can take or different positions you can move to, whether it's something to react to or something you can like pressure with an attack or a shield. And you think about how all of them complement each other. Like think about how your opponent might try to dealing with one option, like let's say jump in back with Yoshi, and then you have a secondary option that deals with that, and then you have like an intertwined set of options that all like complement each other to some extent. Hell, full hopping instead of short hopping is one too. And he does his forward air to wall. M0tsunabE is really good at parrying it though, but that does leave him open. So remember, everything that your opponent does to try to punish something that you do to them has counterplay. For example, he does his parry against Yoshi forward air, But if Yoshi did an egg lay instead, or even did a tomahawk option, like tomahawk jab or tomahawk F tilt, down tilt, up tilt, whatever, I guess. Um, if he tried doing that parry timing on that, I will say Yoshi's forward air is a little slow, so maybe it's reactable. Maybe it's a little hard to say. Human reaction time can be around like 20-ish frames on average, but it comes out frame 16, but it doesn't always hit your shield on frame 16. Like, this is when it comes out, but 16, 17, 18, it might hit on frame 18 instead. That might be reactable. But there's more that goes into it as well. But he does reel his head back pretty quickly. But like, this isn't the frame you'd probably be reacting to. You'd probably be reacting to frame 2 or 3, so that I'm going a little too crazy into that. But a lot of people don't understand how reaction times work. But I will say, if you're not like looking out for forward air in particular, I feel like you're probably just timing it onto a prediction rather than reacting. But maybe Yoshi's forward air, especially that high up, maybe it's reactable, especially with something as fast as a parry. Because what a parry's like what, frame 1 if you when you on shield release? He finally gets the grab off of hitting it. He's like adapting, which is good. And getting a little Falco combo. I'm not gonna go too crazy on analyzing it though, because we're not analyzing Falco. He makes it look like he's going to a ledge, and then he double jumps away. Yoshi's really good at being able to drift to one area and then just immediately, like, full burst go the other direction. I mean, every character does that. Every character could do that. But Yoshi's good at doing it because of his air drift being strong, so the difference is higher. And his double jump also has a lot of momentum. He's landing. He does this landing nair dodge. He actually does a little C shape at the end. That's actually kind of crazy. To be honest with you, I didn't know he could do that. Obviously, every character could do a C shape like that. I didn't know he can make that difference that low to the ground. Like right here, he's landing. He starts drifting back here, but right here, I would have never guessed he's landing on to the left of the Pokeball. Like, he's going full force to the right, and then at the last second, he's able to... And he tries to reverse. So he always tries reversing with down tilt in particular, so that might be something to note. I think down tilt's safe, so even if the down tilt doesn't work out, like, it's, like, cool. Like, it might be good at reversing people, and it might hit. And if it hits, awesome. But if it doesn't work out in these scramble situations that are inconsistent inherently, it's still safe on shield, so I'm chilling. But he goes for this forward air. Gets parried again, though. I don't know if I continue... I don't know if continuing these forward airs make a lot of sense with how much they're getting parried. Get nared. Air parry to cancel hit stun. Probably going to up you to the... Oh, nope. He's double jumping. That should be it. Oh, a simple humble up air. Not even like the up tilt up air. But he gets hit. And he's able to double jump. It is kind of like a 50-50 in that... Like, when he's like... Let me get back to that position. Like, when he's, like, right here, it's kind of like a 50-50. He's either going to up E or up double jump. Unless you are kind of said that he doesn't have a double jump. Because if he up B's, he just snaps to ledge. But you could hard read it with, like, a aerial. Like, you could do, like with Diddy Kong, I should. It's, like, weird because sometimes the egg makes it take too long. And then Yoshi grabs ledge while I'm still in, like, hitting egg hits done. But then sometimes it does work. I might need a lab, like, the specifics. But Diddy should be able to down air Yoshi when he, like, eggs to ledge a lot of the time. But anything you do to try to counterplay it just straight up loses to double jump. But if you play around double jump, you lose to Yoshi just egging the stage because Yoshi just grabs ledge for free, and then because you have to go so far back to cover double jump. I feel like you kind of like, you have to go so far back to cover double jump a lot of the time. Maybe there's like some positional where you can like jump back, react to see if he does egg or double jump. But if he eggs, you then have to play around the egg, and that might be hard. I guess if you like do a humble dash back and then maybe react and then like parry or roll in on an egg or something, you can still be in position to ledge trap Yoshi so you're chilling. In that case, I'd maybe recommend covering double jump a bit more or prioritize double jump more than up B. But you can also get an early stock. Like Falco did a down air. Yoshi might have just straight up died, and he would have won the game, which would have been very valuable. So it's kind of multi-layered. I think it's safer to cover double jump most of the time, but then maybe make a hard call out to up B. But in this situation, when you're losing the game so hard against a character that kills very easily and it's hard to kill because he's heavy, it makes sense you'd want to go for a read. But he goes for this forward air, which doesn't even work against Yoshi double jump armor. It seems like he doesn't know how to. If I were a bargaining man, when I say this with full respect to M0tsunabE, I wish I was half as good as he was. Um, he doesn't seem very, very well versed in the Yoshi matchup. Because like right here, you would have wanted to back up to the left of Yoshi here to cover him, and you would have preferred to hit him on the way down rather than up. Unless you have a move, I'm sure Falco Backer would hit Yoshi double jump armor. Maybe you can even get some niche scenarios where you have a strong hit that covers double jump armor at certain percents and egg simultaneously. And you don't even have to worry about the 50-50. Maybe. In fact, I might need to lab that with Diddy. But yeah, the backer doesn't work, and this combos into up air. I didn't even know that. I thought you had to get the up tilt to combo to up air and then it kills. But very strong showing from Yoshidora. I did get a better understanding of how Yoshi plays, and now I understand how Yoshi plays at a top level rather than just a high level. Some of it was more simple than I thought it was, but there were some complexities. So many air drift mix-ups. But I hope that you guys found that game VOD review helpful. I have some new ideas on how to fight against Yoshi and play as Yoshi as a result of this, so I'm very happy I did it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching.